I am so happy, filled with happiness and enthusiasm to meet you all in this video session. I am Anthony from Bharatjasana Matriculation Higher Secondary School, Department of English. Dear students, the world is filled with happiness, the world is filled with joy, love, affection. At the same time, on the other hand, there is a sorrow, there is a pain, there is a struggle, everything. Every day is a new day for us. Every day gives us a new experience. Every day we learn many things which are part and parcel of our life. It becomes a part and parcel of life. So, every day is a new day, a gift from God. It's a gift from God for me. I have to utilize the day in a proper manner. How can I start the day? How can I start the day in a positive way? How can I meet the people in a positive way? That's what we are going to do. To meet the people, to make the day more enjoyable, cheerful, happy, we need something to energize ourselves. We need to energize ourselves. We need extra energy to meet to be an optimistic people, to be brave, to be wise. We need something in our life. So, if you are cool, it will warm you. If you are cool, it will warm you. If you are heated, it will cool you. If you are heated, it will cool you. And if you are depressed, it will make you cheerful. It will make cheerful. What is that it? What is that it? That's what we are going to see. It is nothing else. It is a nice cup of tea. It is a nice cup of tea. According to Indian tradition, or especially Tamilian culture, whoever comes to our house, we give them the warmth and love, affection. We show our hospitality towards the people, those who come to our house. In what way we show our hospitality? It's nothing else. We ask them to come inside and sit. At the same time, we give a cool water, warm water. Afterwards, we prepare and give a nice cup of tea. A nice cup of tea for the guests, those who came to our house. This is our tradition. Why we drink tea? What are the advantages or the benefits of drinking tea? It can stimulate our blood circulation. The people say, morning when they take a cup of tea, they become energetic. Yes. And it can reduce heart attack. It can reduce heart attack. Yes, my dear students, tea becomes a part and parcel of our life, especially in India. Especially in India, tea is a part of life. For example, I have read in a paper which says, a common man who does not have a proper drinking water, if he or she drinks water, after boiling the water, if he or she pours tea powder and drinks, that is the only thing, only pure water for the common man. The most widely consumed liquid in the planet is nothing else, it's a tea next to water. Next to water, tea is very prominent in the world. The habit of drinking tea, if you take from the past, for thousands of years it was going on. Still we are continuing. In the world, people prefer to have Indian tea. We are the second producers of tea leaves next to China. So, people love to have Indian tea for breakfast. They love to have after breakfast a cup of tea. Especially Assami tea. Yes, These are the advantages, some of the benefits that we are going to get after drinking a cup of tea. There is a proverb. Nice proverb. A Japanese proverb. A bath can refresh our body. A bath can refresh our body. But a nice cup of tea, if you take it, it can refresh our mind. It can refresh our mind. What do you mean by the word refreshment here? It gives extra energy. Yes, we become more enthusiastic. We get a kind of vibration to work forward. That's why people serve tea in their homes. If you are a lover of tea, kindly note down some of the points that I am going to say in this lesson. So, this is the introduction about the lesson. The title of the lesson is A Nice Cup of Tea. A Nice Cup of Tea. What is this nice cup of tea? Which gives energy. Which gives energy for oneself. Which activates. It can give energy. Yes, extra energy it can give. It can stimulate our blood vessels. It can stimulate oneself to do something. Yes, my dear students, today's lesson that I am going to take for you, 12th standard, that is the prose, a nice cup of tea. A nice cup of tea. Now I am going to justify the title. Why the author has kept the title, A Nice Cup of Tea. If you look at the cookery book and so on, people have written many things about how to prepare this and so on, etc., etc. How to prepare a nice dish, how to prepare a biryani, how to prepare a nice, something else. But no one has written how to prepare a nice cup of tea. That's what the author George Orwell feels very sorry. And here in this lesson, he is going to give 11 golden rules to prepare a nice cup of tea. Especially tea lovers, those who are fond of having a tea early morning, it will be very useful. The 11 golden rules that he is going to demonstrate in this lesson. For your kind attention, for your kind information, every year, May 21st is observed as the International Tea Day by UNO. For your kind attention, this is not in your book. But remember, May 21st every year, we observe as International Tea Day. How importance given for tea in our day-to-day life. My dear students, some of you may like tea, some of you may not like it. That's your choice. Kalayasan, what do you prefer to have morning? Boost, very good. Soumya, what do you prefer to have? Horlicks. Anyone likes to have cup of tea here? Yes. You are interested in cup of tea? What's the tea that you like to have? Can you say some of the names, some of the varieties of tea? Yes, what you say is correct. Iced tea. Iced tea, yes, very good iced tea. Black tea, very good. Black tea. Tea without sugar. Yes, very good. Nowadays, if you go to any of the tea shop or in your home, your mom will prepare a tea with a ginger. With a ginger. That also. Now we have some other varieties of tea. Mint tea, they will call it. Mint tea. Herbal tea. Herbal tea. See, people prefer to have different varieties of tea according to their taste. But one thing is sure. George Orwell going to demonstrate 11 golden rules to prepare a nice cup of tea, especially for tea lovers. Because in no cookery book you will find what are the ingredients that we need to prepare a cup of tea. They say just sketches will be here and there. But on our civilization of India, where we are addicted towards tea, we need to know how to prepare a tea. We need to know how to prepare tea. My dear students, for your kind information, at the end of the lesson, our nutrition ma'am, Mrs. Nirmala, has demonstrated how to prepare a nice cup of tea. It's not only just going on theoretically. I can go on say theoretically, but one thing sure, when it is done practically, you will understand how to prepare nice cup of tea. That will come at the end of the lesson. All the rules will be followed, and we will demonstrate and show. Our nutrition ma'am will demonstrate and show how to prepare a nice cup of tea. This is what I have just justified, a nice cup of tea. After listening to this lesson, you all will love to have tea. You all will love to have tea, really. You all will like to have a cup of tea. Dear students, a small introduction about the author. This is something given there in writings, but I want to give something extra. What is not here? George Orwell. George Orwell. Now, his real name is Eric Arthur Blair. Eric Arthur Blair. His pen name only George Orwell. Tamil solna புனைப்பெயர். George Orwell. Known by pen name, George Orwell was an English novelist, essayist, journalist and critic. He was born on 25th June 1903, Motikari, Bengal, India. Yes, this is extraordinary. Okay, some information about the author. He was born in India when India was under the rule of British. His father was a civil servant. So, this man, he knows something about the culture, tradition of the people of India. That's why in this lesson now and then he prefers India, India, India. He has got very good background. And he served in different positions. As a police officer, he served. As a clergyman, he served. As a commander in BBC, he served. Next, the famous works Animal Farm in 1945 and 1984. 1984 is some of the famous work of George Orwell, an English poet. He has served in different places, different designations he has served. He has contributed a lot for the growth and development of the English literature. A man known for his novels, essays, journals and critics. This is what I have given you in the beginning. If you look at any of the cookery book that comes to hardly small sketches only about something about different dishes, how to prepare dishes or something else. But to have a clear idea about tea, they do not give elaborately. But here in this lesson, George Orwell going to demonstrate how to prepare nice cup of tea by following 11 golden rules. If you follow, yes, your tea will be delicious. Your tea will be, it will give extra energy. Yes. The 11 golden points. Here, just note down, my dear students, what he says. The 11 golden rules. Yes. 2 of them would be agreed by, at least 4 of them must be controversial. 4 points are controversial. What do you mean by the word controversial? Disagreeing. I don't agree. The 11 points according to you maybe it is good, but people may not agree. Whatever you say, I need not follow. I will take what is necessary for me. So that's what he says. 11 golden points I have given here, where at least 4 of them must be controversial. Only 2 will be applicable to all the people. 4 points will be disagreement with the people. They do not agree. I do not bother, but I have shown this is what we need in our life. So 11 golden points. In the 11 golden points, two of them would be agreed by all the people, but four of them will be controversial. Four of them will be, people will not have agreement. They will disagree in his points. This is just shown a picture to have a nice cup of tea. A nice cup of tea. 11 points to make perfect cup of tea. That's what we will see now. What are the 11 golden points to making cup of tea? A fresh, see, to get the aroma of the tea, the sweetness of the tea, the flavor of the tea. We need something. How we will get the aroma? How we will get the taste? How we will get the flavor of the tea? Everything we will see now. The very first golden point, one should use Indian or Ceylonese tea in your life. That's what I told you in the beginning. He was born in India. That's why he says, tea lovers, at least in your lifetime, once you should taste Indian or Ceylonese tea. Ceylonese means it refers to Sri Lanka. It refers to Sri Lanka. It gives energy for you. It can activate you. It can boost you. Yes, Indian tea, especially Assami tea, where people love to have for the breakfast. Yes, tea lovers, you should drink at least once in your life Indian tea or Ceylonese. That is the only a perfect, a nice cup of tea refers to Indian or Ceylonese tea. Here, the author speaks about Chinese tea also. It is too economical. But one more thing, it will not stimulate our body. Chinese tea will not stimulate our body. We will never become wiser. We will never become wiser. We will never become optimistic. But when you take Indian tea or Ceylonese tea, you will become brave. Yes, my dear students, you will become brave, you will become wiser, you will become optimistic. On the other hand, though Chinese tea is economically less, but if you take that, these are the qualities that you will never get it. You will not become brave, you will not become wise, you will not become optimistic. That's why the author says, at least once in a lifetime, drink Indian or Ceylonese tea. Ceylonese refers to Sri Lanka. This is the first golden rule. The second point, the second golden rule, tea should be made in a small quantity, not in a big vessel and so on. It should be made in a small quantity, in a teapot made of china or earthenware. That's what. It should be made in a small quantity, make it very small quantity, but china earthenware. Tea out of urn is always tasteless or made out of cauldron, taste of grease and whitewash. Especially in the military, in the army, they have to prepare a tea for many soldiers. They need to have cauldron. What is this cauldron, my dear students? What is this cauldron? It refers to a big vessel. It refers to a big vessel. It is a huge container. We can say a huge container. Yes. Don't prepare a tea in a huge vessel. You will get it. You will get a grease smell. You will get a grease smell or whitewash smell. That's what it says. Prepare tea in a small quantity, especially china or earthenware. Prepare it. Real taste you will get it. The real aroma of the tea you will get it. This is the second golden point. The third golden point. What's the third golden point? Teapot should be warmed beforehand. This can be best done by placing it on the hob than the usual method of swilling out of hot water. Usually what we'll do, in our home, when we prepare a tea, when our mom prepares a tea, when we go to the shop, okay, a teapot should be first warmed. It should be warmed. A teapot should be warmed. We should heat it first. Then only, see here how it is done. This is the picture that shows the teapot should be warmed. It should be heated. It should be heated to get the real taste of the tea. The third point, teapot should be warmed before the hand. The next, fourth, tea should be very strong. Yes, man. Students, do you like strong tea, light tea? Some people will say, I like medium. Some people will say, I like strong tea. Especially when you go to the shop, on the roadside shop, if you go, give me a cup of tea. If you ask, they will say, the vendor asks you, the shop owner, what kind of tea you want, strong or light? Most of the people prepare to have strong tea. That's what he says. Take strong tea. Tea should be very strong, thick. For a pot holding a quarter, 6 heaped spoons of tea without would be right. He is asking to add more tea powder or tea leaves so that your tea becomes very strong. That's what we should have. And down, note here. Strong cup of tea is better than 20 weak ones. Tea lovers kill strong tea. Tea lovers like strong tea. Yes, lover of tea. Anywhere you go, they will ask, please prepare me strong tea. Because they say that it stimulates you. It gives extra energy. Dear students, the fourth point is your tea should be very strong when you prepare it. The fifth point, the tea should be put straight into the pot. No strainer, no muslin bags to imprison tea. Especially nowadays we'll have, if you ask in the shop once, if you travel on the train, if you happen to travel on the train or traveling time, if you need tea and so on, they will give you a small bag, they will give it, just you got enough to dip it in the tea. He said, don't use such a things. Don't use such a muslin bags. Just sometimes we put it in the milk and just stir it. Give a sufficient shake. Then you sometimes will get the color of the tea. The color will be changed. But he says the tea should be put straight into the pot. It should be straight into the pot. No strainers. Don't use any strainers. No muslin bags. What are the muslin bags? Especially you see in the shops, roadside shops, where they pour the tea, where they pour the water, or where they pour the milk. There will be a muslin bag which contains tea leaves or tea powder through which we get the decantation, everything. That is called, we call it as a muslin bag. My dear students, never use strainer or muslin bag. We should never use it. Tea should be straight into the pot. Next, sixth point. One should take the teapot in the kettle, not the other way about. The water should be boiling at the moment of impact. One should keep it on the flame while one pours. This is how we will prepare tea in our home. Tea, one should take the teapot in the kettle. This is how most of the house prepare. Sometimes it is in opposite way. Some houses they boil the water, then they pour the milk, then they pour tea powder. Some houses they pour everything, water, milk, tea powder, everything they pour it, then they boil. But here what he says, one should take the teapot to the kettle and not the other way about. This is how it is boiling. See how it is boiling. This is what we have to follow, the boiling. Do not do it in another way while you are taking. So your tea should not take the teapot to the kettle, the stove. It should not be in another way. Next point. Coming to the next point, the seventh golden point that we are going to see. After making the tea, stir it. What do you mean by the word stir it? Shake it well. We should shake it well. Give the pot a good shake afterwards, allowing the leaves to settle down. This is what. Here, the author says, even we can taste some of the leaves of the tea. It will be very good for our health. Nothing is hazardous to our health. So here the author says, you can even taste the tea leaves. Once it after boiling, making the tea, stir it well, give the pot a good shake afterwards, allowing the leaves to settle down. Let the leaves go and settle down. Normally, we Indians in our homes, we do not prefer to have leaves. We used to have powder, tea powder. But here he says, after giving a good shake, let the leaves go and settle down. Then you take and see, then you taste and see how delicious it is. But we do it in another way. We in India, especially our homes, we do not take tea leaves, rather we take tea powder. This is the point. Next point. Eighth golden point. Drink tea out of a good breakfast cup, especially cylindrical cup, because it holds more tea and is always half cold before one has well started on it. Especially, my dear students, this is the cup that I was talking about. This is the cup that I was talking about, not this one. It should be a cylindrical because it holds more. It holds more. This is what we see here. It holds more. It reaches up to the brim. Up to the brim, it gets up to the brim. Yes, it holds more as well as, and one more point, see here, it holds more and is always half cold before one has well started it. Slowly people used to, nowadays what we take a cup of tea and drink straight away. But in other countries and so on, they take it slowly, they take a sip and keep it down. Take a sip and take it down. That's why it says, let the cup hold more. This is the cup that we have to use. This is the cup that we have to use. This is not the one. George Orwell asked the tea lovers, go for this. Which is a cylindrical cup. Cylindrical cup refers to, this is the one. Do not go with all these varieties of cups that is available in the market. If you are a true lover, go for this cylindrical cup because it holds more. You can have it slowly in a relaxing manner. As I told you, it will cool you, it will cheer you, yes, it can calm you. All this will happen when you have this cup of tea only. The next point, point number 9. What's the point number 9? The golden point. The point number 9. What is that? Pour the cream out of the milk before using it for the tea. Nowadays, what we do in our home, especially our mom, when she prepares a cup of tea, we boil the milk. We get the cream. We get the cream on the top of the milk. Most of the houses, they remove the cream. They remove it. But what happens? Some houses, they prepare it with the cream. Here the author says, pour the cream off the milk. Remove it. We have to remove the cream of the before the milk that is too creamy always gives a sickly taste, sour taste, bitter taste. It shows a sickly, a bitter taste when there is a creamy over the milk. That's why whenever people go to the shop, they say, please remove that creamy. I do not want the cream. Oh, just remove it creamy. You too, in your home, when you prepare a cup of tea, try to remove all the cream and prepare it. You will get the real taste. That's what the 9th point. Pour the cream off the milk. Cream off the milk. Off the means refers to remove it completely. Do not go with the creams. Do not use the making a tea with the creams and so on. This is a very nice point. It is very nice point. What is the 10th one? What is the 10th golden rule? What's the 10th golden rule? Pour tea into the cup first and then add milk. This is a controversial point. This is the controversial point. Most of the people have a disagreement over here, over this point. What is the disagreement here? Pour the tea into the cup first and add milk so that one can exactly regulate the amount of milk. That's what I said in the beginning. Most of the houses, what they do is they keep milk, tea powder, sugar, this amount of water that they need to add everything and boil. This is what most of the houses happens. There they will not get the real taste. But what he says, pour the tea into the cup first. Once it is boiled, you pour the tea first, then add the milk slowly, then only you will know how much milk should be added, the real taste, whether you need medium tea or strong tea. You can rationalize the milk. So, he says very clearly, add first tea, then add milk, so that exactly regulates the amount of milk that we need to have in our life. You try it and see. Boil tea separately, milk separately. Then you add. There you will get a different taste. Here people disagree. There is so much of controversial here. In this point especially. Then next point also. Next point, most of people disagree. Only the author becomes the minority here in his views. The last golden rule. What is the last golden rule? That's what we are going to see. The last golden rule. Drink tea in a Russian style. Russian style. They say Russian style. What is the Russian style, ma? Indian style, Ceylonese style, Chinese style, England style. They say, what is the Russian style? Without sugar. Without sugar. Don't add any sugar at all. Don't add some sugar or something whatever needed. That is the Russian style. Yes, here the author becomes a minority. George Orwell becomes minority. What is that minority word? Minority. Only few people agree with this point, including the author. Only a few people agree with this point. My dear students, the author says at the beginning you will have different taste if you take a tea without sugar. But as the days goes on, you will have the real taste of the tea. You will have the real taste of the tea. That's why the author advises the tea lovers, take tea in a Russian style, that is without sugar. Without sugar. We need to have tea without sugar. Try and see in your life. Really, it can energize you. It can stimulate your body. The blood circulation, everything will work. Then it can reduce heart attack, yes, stroke, everything. Scientifically it proved. Try to have tea without sugar. People say, shall I take tea with pepper? Shall I take tea with salt? That's up to you. But what George Orwell says, with all these golden points, try to follow these golden points to have a good, delicious, the tea that is filled with aroma. You will have it. So, the author is minority here in this last golden points. Why he is minority means he is asking the tea lovers to have tea without sugar. May not agree, but this is what he advises tea lovers. Now, I would like to have a summary, recall the points that I have discussed so far I have discussed. These are the points that I have discussed. Let us recall some of the points. First, I just go through it. Use Indian tea. That's what I said. Tea lovers have Indian tea. Tea lovers have Ceylonese tea. Second point, make a tea in small quantity. Do not make it in big vessel, a cauldron. Don't make it in a big vessel. Make it in a small quantity. Teapot should be warmed beforehand. Yes, beforehand. Tea should be made very strong. Tea lovers, take a strong tea and taste and see how delicious it is, how tasteful it is. Put the tea leaves directly. Don't use strainers, muslin bags, and so on, so on, so on. Let the tea leaves go inside. Boil it. Let it go underneath. Then you take and see how tasty it is. Stir it. Stir the tea. Shake it. Shake the pot. Yes. The word stir is shake. Prefer cylindrical breakfast cup which holds more tea. This is what I said. Cylindrical cup. You all must have your own individual cup. Nowadays, cup comes like this. Cup comes with photos, names, everything. You can print it and keep it for yourself. Everything is available in the market nowadays. Remove cream from the milk to avoid sickly taste. That's what I said. Remove the cream. Pour tea into the cup, then add milk. This is what. First you have to pour the tea, then add milk according to your taste. Drink tea without sugar. The last point. Try to have tea without sugar. Yes, my dear students. See, this is the Indian style of drinking tea. A man who loves to have a cup of tea. See the cup that he uses. He is so happy to have a cup of tea. Yes, after drinking this tea, this man is energized. He is activated. Everything stimulated. See, this is the Indian tea. That's what the first golden point says. Have Indian tea at least once in your life. Next, this is the Russian tea. This is the Russian tea, that is tea without sugar. Tea without sugar. This is the Russian tea. In this point, the author is only minority. The first point, the previous picture shows all the Indians agree with the point. Just given a small picture. Shows where people prefer tea. How they prepare tea. How people are addicted to tea. This is what we will see. Dear students, having come to the end of the lesson, that is a nice cup of tea. How to prepare a nice cup of tea. Now, a nice cup of tea can be compared to our life also. A nice cup of tea can be compared to our life also. By boiling a milk, here we can boil our ego. We can boil our ego. And it can evaporate all our worries. It can evaporate all our worries. It can dilute all your sorrow. It can dilute all your sorrow. And one more thing, it can filter all your mistake. As a tea filters everything, it can filter all your mistake, so that the taste of tea, which is so tasty with aroma, your life also can filled with happiness. My dear students, prefer to have Indian tea, that also in a cylindrical cup, and strong tea. Try to have tea without sugar. Though at the beginning you may feel it very sickly or unwanted, sour taste and so on, but as it goes on, you will feel real taste. So, my dear students, through these golden points, the author advises how to prepare a nice cup of tea. A nice cup of tea refers to its Indian tea. It's Indian. We should be very proud of our Indian tea. Thank you.